The Monster Mile in Dover, Delaware. It's called the Monster because it eats dreams. Those that attempt to ride its spine do so at their own peril. The turns like canyon walls, the straights banked steeper than many tracks turns. Concentrate everywhere, rest nowhere. Few will leave here unscathed in equipment or spirit. Turning laps anywhere else is a Sunday school picnic compared to just a few on the Monster. It's a rush like no other to bring the Monster down, but exhausting to fight it and lose. Those are the words of the late Steve Evans of Diamond P Sports. They echo loudly and still ring true today. We're here in Dover for the Superior Class Auto Racing Premier Series, and it's coming up next here on HBR TV. Good afternoon. Welcome once again to Dover, Delaware, the Monster Mile. 125 laps, 125 miles around this high-banked concrete oval. The Dover Dogfight 125, 68-degree ambient temperature, 68% humidity, cloudy skies, 4-mile-an-hour variable wind. Track temperature about 102 degrees Fahrenheit. Not too bad. Nice and cool. Should produce some quick times and some good grip out there on the racing surface. Practice just about wrapped up. A few minutes left in the session. Currently, Neil Quick, top of the board. TJ Elaine, Keaton Burnett, Drew Blaze, Brian Rose. That's the rest of the top five. A little trouble on the front stretch with Aaron Conover and Jesse Bobo. Nothing to be too worried about. Again, it is the iRacing sim, so backup cars, backup trucks, not really a thing, but quick repairs are. So they get those things readied and ready to rock and roll for qualifying, and then subsequently the race. Seems that right now Brian Rose, the only truck out on the track, laying some laps down. Some mock Q runs, it seems, for the number 89 machine. Aaron Conover rolling down the pits here. He may take another stab at this. Again, top time at 22:89. Neil Quick and TJ Elaine both with equal times. Could just be a one-man show up here in the booth tonight. Eric Dodson, some storms rolling through his area in the last few days, knocking out power and internet for much of the area. We kind of expected it could be a problem for him this evening so far. No sign of Mr. Dodson, so it's going to be unfortunate, but I think we will be solo here tonight. We'll make the best of it. With that said, those of you who are watching here in the stream chat, please feel free to say hello, chime in, ask some questions, this, that, and the other, whatever you got to do. Keep us entertained. I know I'm going to try to do the same for you guys, but without Eric, I'm going to need someone to talk to in those moments of dullness if they do present themselves. "20 seconds left in the session. We'll jump right into qualifying as soon as it's complete. Looks like Neil Quick is going to be the winner of practice here. Just bragging rights, the prize for winning practice, but either way, Top of the board, still a 22.88 and change, rounded up to the 89. Himself and TJ Elaine alike. Neil Quick must have been just a hair faster as he is listed as the top of that board. Practice comes to its conclusion, and we will jump right into qualifying in just a moment or two. Keep an eye on the live timing and scoring to see who rolls into the pit lane first. Looks like Thomas McMullen is first to hit his designated area at the end of the pit lane, rolls out onto the speedway. Thomas McMullen getting all he can in the middle of turns 3 and 4. Looking sharp off of corner exit, crosses the stripe to complete lap 1. It's a 23.13 for Thomas McMullen. Meanwhile, Keaton Burnett goes top of the board. His first lap, a 23.13 as well. Looks like equal times here at the top of the board between Keaton Burnett and Thomas McMullen. Let's see if lap 2 is any faster for the 26. A little higher up in the groove between 3 and 4 for Keaton Burnett. Will George goes P1. Burnett 23.22, actually slower the second time. Drew Blaze finishes his second lap at 23.042. They're clicking him off in a hurry. Jamie Kerr wraps up his second lap 11th quick. Cody Harder in the Yahoo truck, 23.073, sixth fast for the number 66. TJ Elaine's first lap at 23 flat, puts him provisional pole. He's still in the throttle. Let's see if he can throw down that 22. Crosses the stripe. 23.020, consistent, not faster. First lap seems to be best for everyone so far. Chris Goins out on track as well. The number 6 lending machine. First lap, 23.173. Ninth fast so far. Neil Quick's first lap, 24.25, maybe an issue for the 2. Chris Goins finishes his second lap. It's a 23.074, big improvement. Neil Quick crosses the stripe, end of his second lap. Big pickup, 22.922 miles an hour, or seconds for that matter. That's good enough for the pole. Neil Quick goes top of the board, just about a tenth faster than TJ Elaine. Mark Truxell rolling out of the pits. He's going to start his qualifying attempt. Good to see Mark out there in qualifying. Many times you see Mark just hanging out towards the back to start these races, find that rhythm, find that groove, and slowly start picking guys off. Bigger fields here lately, though. I think we've got 20 trucks tonight, so Truxell's going to try and get a little bit better starting position. Lap 1 for the 5, a 23.21. Not a bad first lap. Starting 11th thus far. Let's see if he can find any more speed and get that truck into the top 10. .23.362 for Mark Truxell. Looks like that's where he's going to settle. With that, we're going to step aside for a short break. We'll be back with our starting grid after this. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, tonight for your starting grid, the Dover Dogfight 125. Starting on the pole with Quick Esports, it is the 2 of Neil Quick. Starting to his outside, it is the 69 machine with TJ George Esports Company, TJ Elaine. Row number 2 with the 71 of Alan DeFries. He'll be flanked by the 1 of Drew Blaze. William George starting row 3, 5th position for Will George, TJ George Esports Company teammate. Brian Rose will start 6th with Howler Boys Racing. Cody Harger is going to roll off from the 7th position, the number 66 machine. To his outside, it is the 6 of Chris Gones. Starting 9th, Thomas McMullen in the 02 with HBR TV. 10th will be Keaton Burnett with Lone Star Racing. Mark Truxell, HLC Motorsports number 5, he'll start 11th. Cook Quick in the 23 starts from the 12th position. Mike Fahey, the number 19, he'll start in the 13th position. Jesse Bobo, the number 7 with Jesse Bobo Racing, starts 14th. 15th starting position with Kyle Ryan Motorsports. Jamie Kerr in the number 75. Pete Woodrum, the number 4, he'll start in the 16th spot. Tom Ridgway in the 3, he starts 17th. Aaron Conover in the 20, he'll be 18th with Vince Short. In the 15, he'll start in the 19th position with Shane Wagner, the number 17, shotgun on the field in the 20th spot. It's your starting grid here for the Dover Dogfight 125. Pace car is off. We only do one pace lap here at Dover. Waiting for the green flag.
Green.
Green flag is out. We are underway from Dover. Just like that, TJ Lane takes over the top spot from Neil Quick. He'll lead lap number 1. Neil Quick has slid back almost a full second in the second spot. Now under pressure from Drew Blaze. Drew Blaze takes the second spot. Neil Quick now third. Under pressure again from William George. The 96 goes to the bottom, as does Thomas McMullen. Neil Quick throwing out the anchor here at the start of the race. 3 laps in. Pole position down to 5th in just a matter of 3 miles. Settles in right in the 5th position, just ahead of the 89 of Brian Rose. Don't count the 2 out already, okay? I know we're coming up on 4 laps. We just put 4 laps up on the board. This is the story we've seen a million times. It is just chapter 1. Neil Quick, able to save tires with the best of them, might be the plan from the very get-go. Drop back, not push that truck too hard, save all the rubber you can to keep it underneath that F-150. Save it for when it counts, save it for when the race is coming down to its conclusion, and then you can put the power down and go on by these guys and possibly take the win. We've seen him do it before. We'll see if he can do it again this afternoon. Meanwhile, TJ Lane still out in front with a pretty healthy advantage over the 1 of Drew Blaze. 1.35 seconds back. Will George there tucked into the back bumper of the 1. So he's putting pressure now on Blaze. Dover's one of the places that Drew liked quite a bit. Be curious to see how this one plays out. Certainly used to seeing that one machine, albeit whether it's a truck or a Gen 6 Cup car or otherwise, out towards the front. But looks like he caught a piece of the wall there half a lap ago. Opened up the bottom for Will George, and Will George takes over the second position. Drew Blaze trying to cross him back over. Goes to the bottom into 3. Little slip there, no contact. Meanwhile, TJ Lane keeps watching in the mirror and seeing those trucks get smaller and smaller. Alan DeFries started in the 3rd position. He is now back to the 17th spot. Shows he had an issue on lap 1. Let's try and get a quick peek at it. No, nothing there. Maybe he had an EOL penalty. It could be because he just pulled right here to the bottom, leaving the pit lane. So no incident for Alan DeFries. Good qualifying position, but possibly a penalty. In fact, let me double check the notes on that. Yes, Alan DeFries. End-of-line penalty at the beginning. So did Vincent Short. Andrew Locke would have gotten one as well, but did not take the green tonight. Again, Andrew, a part-time basis here in the Superior Class Auto Racing Premier Series. Comes to us from the road racing side of things. Wanted to try his hand at ovals, so you will see him and possibly James Vance periodically throughout the season, but not likely the full schedule. Neil Quick now back into the 6th position. Now Brian Rose also starting to slip slightly. Mark Truxell looking to the bottom. Chris Goins is licking his chops, thinking he might be able to follow the 5 through and take that spot as well. Maybe Keaton Burnett with the same intentions. Brian battles back on the high side off of 2. Neil Quick might have scraped the wall there just a bit. 11 laps in of 125. TJ Elaine still leads. Will George, Drew Blaze, Thomas McMullen, Mike Fahey, the top 5. Mark Truxell goes to the bottom. Brian Rose stays up top. Speaking of saving tires, we've seen this a few times from the 89 as well as Neil Quick. Trying to save that truck, bring home a solid finish. Remember, he does have 1 win already this season. Won the season opener at Daytona. Just needs to run clean here throughout the rest of the year, and he's going to lock himself into a playoff position. Mark Truxell up 4 spots into the 7th position here, 15 laps in. Marching forward is the 5. Nice to see this newfound aggression out of Mark Truxell. Again, we've talked about it so many times. Usually doesn't take the time to qualify, starts at the back of the field. Again, with bigger fields, 20 trucks that is tonight. It's actually one of our smaller fields compared to most of the races we've run this season. Mark kind of is forced a little bit to take the time to qualify. Usually does not start getting through that pack until late in the race. He's always there near the end, but here he is running 7th, just 16 laps in here at Dover. It's time to go already for the 5 of Mark Truxell. Next on the hit list for Truxell is Mike Fahey, under pressure already. Mark Truxell down to the bottom, driving through, is going to try and take the spot. Fahey's out of the gas. Brian Rose might follow him, and so might Chris Goins. Fahey dropping back some positions. He was 5th. Now he's back in the 9th position. Chris Goins slides across the nose of the 19. Keaton Burnett saying, hey, wait for me, Chris. Let's go. Well, you're supposed to help me. Not today. Goins, Fahey, Keaton Burnett, all 3 Lone Star Racing trucks. Very familiar with each other as far as how they race. Keaton Burnett, though, drops it to the bottom. He's going to try and take this spot away from Mike Fahey. There's been a big change at the front here. Will George is taking over the top spot, and TJ Elaine has slipped to 5th. We missed that in the exchange mid-pack. Try and see if we can get a look and see exactly what happened. Try and find the pass for lead. What happened with the 69 truck? Lap 13, it was the pass for the lead. Will George drops to the bottom. teammate TJ Lane goes to the top. You see right side damage on the 69 truck as he gets passed for the top spot. Definitely would explain him dropping through the field there. Not sure what precipitated that, just a little issue off corner or what have you, but Drew Blaze took the spot away as well. Again, TJ Lane sits back in the 5th position after that incident. So new top 5, Will George, Drew Blaze, Thomas McMullen, Neil Quick, Mark Truxell. Again, Neil started P1 this afternoon, quickly dropped back to about the 6th position on the opening couple of laps. Found a rhythm, found a groove, starting to work his way back towards the front. Thomas McMullen now putting some pressure on the back of Drew Blaze to get into turn number 3. Through all that, Neil Quick back in the hunt, top 4. Grouped back up here, 24 laps in. Neil Quick now looking to the bottom on Thomas McMullen into turn number 3. Nothing doing there, or is there? Tries to get it way down to the bottom. Thomas McMullen, connection issues once again, continuing to plague the 0-2. Neil Quick still side by side with Thomas McMullen down the backstretch into turn number 3. Move Neil Quick up to position 3. Now it's Will George, Drew Blaze, Neil Quick, Thomas McMullen, and Brian Rose has cracked the top 5 as well. See, Aaron Conover has parked the 20 in pit lane. Not sure exactly what happened with him. So we see Thomas McMullen taking a position away from Drew Blaze. Move Thomas up to P3. Neil Quick is now 2nd. Starting to reel in the 96 of Will George. Let's go back here and take a look. See exactly what we can decipher here. Some damage certainly on the 20 truck. Left side for certain. Not sure exactly what happened with Conover. Obviously some damage on that 20 truck. Will George still at the point. Off turn number 2. Neil Quick stalking the 96. That gap shrinking every lap. 0.4 of a second the advantage for the 96. Neil Quick mid-corner here. Let's see if he can gain anything off turn 4. Gets it under 0.4 of a second there. 3.5 tenths. Herd will lift just a bit off turn number 2. It's going to allow Neil Quick to close right to the tailgate. Half a truck length between the top 2 trucks. Neil Quick looks to the inside, dives it into turn number 1. The 96 slides up the racetrack, a half a groove, maybe a full groove. Neil Quick gets to the bottom a little too much, has to check up, gets the truck a little loose, little bit of close contact between the two. Back into turn number 3, still side by side. Neil Quick with the nose out in front. He's got room to clear. Off turn number 4, new leader. Neil Quick goes back to the point. Again, first laps led today for the 2 of Neil Quick, with the exception of the pace lap. Neil Quick started on the pole position this afternoon, quickly fell back to 5th, 6th place. Didn't lead the first lap. That was given to TJ Elaine with that whole scenario. But here we are. Neil Quick has worked his way back to the point. Lap 35, now 36 here from Dover Motor Speedway. Battle with Drew Blaze and Brian Rose. Close contact, maybe there again. Brian Rose in the bottom lane. Drew Blaze, the Dent Zones Toyota up top. Crosses it back down. Shuts off the advance from the 89. Brian gets a good run off turn number 2. Looks to the inside, going into turn number 3. Drew Blaze takes the ultra-high line. Brian's going to drive off down to the bottom. Blaze is going to dime in the corner, drops it back to the bottom off corner 4. But Brian Rose has the spot. Blaze with a big run down into turn number 1. Rose continues to keep the position. Move Brian Rose up to P4. Drew Blaze now back to 5th. Mark Truxell settling in here in the 8th position. Further back in the field, Tom Ridgway in the 3, back in the 16th position. Pete Woodrum just behind there in the 4. Behind Pete is the 17 of Shane Wagner. Pete and Shane both coming to us from the OG Racing League, as well as Jamie Kerr. Aaron Conover as well. And Mike Fahey down to the bottom, 40 laps in. Not sure if this is a stop in the works or what has happened with the 19. Mike Fahey on the pit lane. Fahey comes to a stop. This might be regular scheduled service. Right side's going on. We've only got 2 sets of tires over the wall today. He's used the first one already. Mike Fahey, 4 tires in fuel. He is down and away. Cody Harger running back in the 12th position. Cody's down about 5 spots since the drop of the green flag. Have to wonder if the 66 is saving some tire as well. Cody, a crafty veteran here in the series. And Drew Blaze is going to hit the pit lane as well. So green flag stops underway here from Dover. Just about halfway to our stage break, 45 laps in. The stage is at the completion of lap 90. Drew slides into his box. Now everybody and their brother hits the pit lane. Neil Quick from the top spot. He's in the pit lane. Brian Rose, Thomas McMullen, Chris Goins, Keaton Burnett, Mark Truxell, Jamie Kerr, TJ Elaine, Cody Harger, Alan DeFries. Just about everyone taking this opportunity under the green flag to get their pit work completed. Jamie Kerr in the box, right sides, now lefts. HBR TV number 75 is down and away. Pete Woodrum now, he's down the pit lane for his scheduled service. A couple drivers stayed out. Woodrum was one of them. Cook Quick, possibly another. Vincent Short, he is in the box as well. Vincent Short, 15, 16, 17 seconds. Oh, no. Vincent Short popped for speeding on entry, I believe. We'll have to see the actual pit time. If it's 40 seconds more than normal, that is a pit road speeding violation for the 15 of Vince Short. Agony sitting on pit road for that during the green flag. Going to lose multiple laps here as they get down this here, 24 seconds a lap. Total pit time so far in the box, 54 seconds. Now he gets pit work done. Not sure exactly. Usually they let the pit work first, but Vince Short down and away, 1 minute 9 seconds in the pit box. Tough break for the Track Bar Media Silverado of Vincent Short. Meanwhile, Neil Quick has cycled back around to the point. 50 laps in, pit work completed, all under the green flag. Let's go through the field while we have the opportunity. Again, Neil Quick won the pole position tonight, quickly slipped right from the start back to the 5th or 6th position. Slowly but surely worked his way back to the point here. About lap 35, took over the top spot. Neil Quick, after green flag stops, continues to lead. Thomas McMullen runs in the 2nd position, having a good day so far, up 7 spots, started in the 9th position. Brian Rose, also a good pit cycle for the 89. He started in the 6th position. He's already up into the 3rd spot. Again, Brian's got 1 win on the season at Daytona, the season opener. Will George runs in the 4th spot. He's up 1 position, started P5 today. Drew Blaze in the 5th position. Drew, typically one of the faster guys out here, whether it's in a truck or a cup car or what have you. He excels just about in anything. Surprisingly enough, doesn't run any force feedback whatsoever in his wheel. So it's just like there's no forces against you. You can move it with a pinky. Even a baby could do it. But Drew Blaze, definitely not a baby out here at Dover running P5. Chris Goins in the 6th position. In the 6th. That's fun to say. Chris out of Charlotte, North Carolina, the eye-lending Toyota Tundra with Lone Star Racing. Having a decent day so far. He's picked up a couple of spots since the drop of the initial green flag, running in the 6th spot. Keaton Burnett, another LSR driver. Keaton out of Campton, Kentucky. Driver of that number 26 HBR TV. Fahey's Fun Factory LSR Chevy Silverado. He's up a few spots as well in the 7th position. Mark Truxell started the day in the 11th spot. He currently runs 8th. Having a good day so far, keeping that truck pretty clean. Don't see any scuffs or scrapes, and all I see is the Tower Suites right now. There he is. Little Tate's Cupcakes on the side and some Alex Morgan imaging on the tailgate. Jamie Kerr runs in the 9th position. He's up 6 positions from the drop of the green flag. Again, Jamie running the HBR TV colors in full here this afternoon. Changed up the wheel color, it looks like, but that's okay. Jamie out of Snow Camp, North Carolina. Alan DeFries in the number 71 had the EOL to start the race. Worked his way up into the 10th position. It says he's down 7 because he technically qualified 3rd. But again, he had to start towards the rear of the field at the initial start. So he is slowly but surely working his way back up, sitting there in the top 10. 11th position, the 3 of Tom Ridgway. Tom started in the 17th position this afternoon. Cook Quick, brother of Neil, runs in the 12th spot. Cook started 12th, runs 12th, the WR1 Ford F-150. Mike Fahey runs in the 13th spot. Was the first guy to kick off his green flag pit stops. Fahey running the Autism Speaks colors. Pete Woodrum in the 4, runs 14th, sporting some New York Yankee colors. Little pinstripe action on the side of that number 4. Jesse Bobo, the number 7, he runs in the 15th spot. Started 14th this afternoon. Shane Wagner up to 17th. Again, Shane comes to us from the OG Racing League, sporting the My Cricket Makes Truck Series sponsorship on the side of that Silverado. Cody Harger, though, he's back in the pit lane. He was running in the 17th spot. Cody had already made his pit stop. You see some left side, left front damage, the number 66 Yahoo Toyota Tundra. All 4 corners looking a little rough on the 66, lefts and rights. Right side tires are going to go on. We'll see if he takes the time to fix any of this damage. Again, they do not run any fast repairs here in the Superior Class Auto Racing Premier Series, so if he's going to try and get this fixed, he's going to have to wait it out. Meanwhile, Brian Rose is taking over the top spot. Move the 89 to P1 around Neil Quick. All of a sudden, the 89 has come alive. I don't know if he's just got a feel for the track. Track temperatures may be changing. Brian Rose has powered his way, put that F-150 with Track Bar Media out in front. It's lap 59, just a few laps ago. We'll go back and take a look from the spotter cam. We'll go full speed here. This was the replay of the pass for the top spot. Brian gets a run off the 4, dives down to the bottom on Neil Quick, gets by the 2 with ease. Rose still out in front. Neil Quick back about 0.3 of a second. Chris Goins trying to put some pressure on the 1 of Drew Blaze. This will be for the 5th position while Drew Blaze starts to work on the back tailgate of Thomas McMullen. Mark Truxell trying to make a move to the inside with Mike Fahey. Fahey up top, the number 19. Truxell down low, the black, white, and green number 5. Pete Woodrum slow off of turn 3. Don't know if he got crossed up with his 26 of Keaton Burnett or what happened. Woodrum back in the throttle, though. Back to Chris Goins and Drew Blaze. Fourth, fifth, and sixth there all in a row. McMullen, Blaze, and Gones. Nothing really doing for any of them at this point. Gones seemed to have some pace, but wasn't able to really get alongside of Drew Blaze. "69 laps in here of 125 here at Dover. We've been under the green flag since the green flag came out. No cautions so far. Everyone's been clean and green, which is really impressive here. 20 trucks here at the Monster Mile. You never would have expected it. So far, so good. Again, don't want to jinx it, but we're doing pretty good here at Dover Motor Speedway. 70 laps in, 21 shy of the stage. And then everybody can come down pit lane and make their service and adjustments and get that thing ready to go to the checkered flag. Meanwhile, Neil Quick is taking back the top spot from Brian Rose. Keep watching these battles mid-pack. Keep missing the passes up front, but we got it. We'll take a look at it here. Quick gets the run off of turn 2, goes to the bottom in 3. Rose keeps it up in the high side. Neil Quick retakes the top spot. Neil Quick extending that lead back to Brian Rose. It's now 1.1 seconds back to the 89. Rose sits there relatively unchallenged. Will George there in the third position. About 10 truck lengths in the rear view mirror for the 89. Meanwhile, the battle with Chris Gones and Drew Blaze continues as the 3 of Ridgeway gets passed again here. This is going to put him laps down. Now, Ridgeway, the first truck, 1 lap down. If we do get a caution and he maintains that spot, and Neil Quick doesn't lap anybody else, he would be eligible for that lucky dog, would get that lap back, get him back on the lead lap. He'd have to pit after all the leaders do, but certainly I don't think he'll complain if he gets that lap back, get him kind of back in the thick of things. Currently running 12th is the 3 of Ridgeway. Now Drew Blaze back to the tailgate of Thomas McMullen once again. As Quick goes topside. He's going to lose a lap as well. In fact, he already has lost a lap to Neil Quick. So that's going to put Quick as your lucky dog recipient if the caution were to come back out. Drew Blaze there sits in the 5th position. McMullen is 4th. Kind of wonder if Drew Blaze is just dipping that nose just to the left of the 0-2 of McMullen so he can get in the mirror just a bit, get Thomas looking, get him off his game. Actually, Drew Blaze gets in the fence there a little bit, entry to turn 3. See that quite a bit with some of these guys. They kind of bounce it off the wall to dive down to the bottom. He didn't seem to lose any time in doing so. We'll see if he does it again the next time. Thomas slides up the track just a bit. Drew Blaze doesn't hit the wall this time on the straightaway, but still closes down the gap. Thomas, though, gets back to the throttle a little bit quicker. That really is the difference between these two. In the lines they're running, the throttle traces are going to be varied just a bit. Thomas McMullen is backing up his entry just slightly compared to the one of Blaze. but it allows Drew to get right to that tailgate on entry, but that also means that Thomas can get back to the gas and drive out of the corner just a hair sooner than the one. So you do see the differences there. One gains while the other one loses, and then vice versa. But Drew drives it in real deep here, trying to get to the inside. Nothing doing still. Thomas McMullen maintains the 4th position. This is the battle on the racetrack as we see it. Neil Quick and Brian Rose, the top 2, they are separated by some time for sure, about 3 seconds or so. Will George is 3rd. He's in between these two. So you see Thomas McMullen having his connection issues once again. It's got to make Drew Blaze nervous, but he's got plenty of experience in the iRacing simulator. Used to driving around guys that may or may not have a great connection, so he's certainly not going to get too apprehensive about it. Definitely a veteran out there, knows what to do. May not push the issue as much until things clean up with that connection, as it seems that it has. So here he goes back again, looking low in the entry of turns 1 and 2. Drew Blaze certainly seems to have a little bit more pace than Thomas McMullen as they catch Alan DeFries. Thomas McMullen slides up the track again, mid-corner. Again, kind of a diamond pattern we're seeing out of the O2. Just under 5 laps to complete the stage. Again, caution will come out at the completion of lap 90. Meanwhile, Chris Goins has slipped just a bit back to the 7th position. Mark Truxell's taken over 6th. Neil Quick with almost a 3-second advantage over Brian Rose puts lap 87 up on the board. Just a few more to go for those all-important stage points. Brian Rose trying to hold off Will George for the 2nd position. Points are important here. Coming to stage end. Let's keep a close eye on this one. See if the 89 can hold off the 96 and get those points. Big checkup for Brian Rose, catching some lap traffic. Shane Wagner being one of them. Contact made. The 4, Pete Woodrum, goes to the high side. This is slowing up the leaders here at the end of the stage. Brian Rose with some damage to the left front of that F-150. Gets by these lap trucks. Will George maintains his position behind Brian Rose. We heard Brian get out of the throttle when we were running that onboard shot, and that's why. Caught some lap traffic in a bad spot where the 2 lap trucks were battling for position, but so were 2nd and 3rd, trying to make their way through. Brian Rose, Will George, can Will make the pass here? Final lap of the stage. Doesn't look like he's going to do it. Neil Quick's going to win the stage. Brian Rose off turn number 4. Will George. Brian Rose and Will George, 2nd and 3rd. Thomas McMullen is going to get the 4th spot. Caution does come out. Drew Blaze takes the 5th position. We're going to step aside here while they get their caution laps and pit stops taken care of and try to get a word with Neil Quick when we return after this. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Monster Mile, Dover, Delaware, for the Superior Class Auto Racing Premier Series. Neil Quick has just completed his stops after winning the stage. Let's try and get a word with Neil momentarily here. Real quick, Neil, it's Steve in the broadcast booth. You got a good copy?
Yeah, I got you, Steve.
Neil, you put it on the pole here and quickly fell back to 6th position, but meticulously worked your way back to P1. What happened on the start, and how's it going here for the rest of the race?
About the first 6 to 10 laps, this thing's kind of a little bit of a dog, and then it just starts to come in. And it really, I don't think I come in. I think it just holds steady pace, and some of the other guys get out there and burn their stuff up.
Well, either way, impressive to watch. A little bit of a battle between yourself and Brian Rose. Good luck going on here the second half. Maybe we'll see you in victory lane.
Thanks, Steve-O.
Was Neil Quick your stage winner here at Dover? Getting ready to go back to the green flag here momentarily. I think we still have a couple more laps before we get that green flag. We've got some lappers in front of the leaders that will likely get a wave around here. Pace car lights are still on. Typically, as soon as they go out, that puts us on the 1 to go. At which point the lap cars will get the wave around, get them out of the way of the lead lap cars. They'll get to cycle back around, catch the tail end of the field. Very impressed with these guys so far tonight, which I want to say it surprises me, but it really doesn't. Superior Class Auto Racing Premier Series drivers, definitely top-notch. Run this whole race without a caution with the exception of the stage. If it weren't for that, who knows, maybe we could have gone green to checker without any caution flag whatsoever, but remains to be seen as we do break things up here with the stage break. Not quite a halfway break like you may have seen in the ARCA Series races in previous years and such. We shall see here. 36. Be 30 laps to go when we cross the stripe. Pretty sure everyone can go that race distance on what fuel they have left on board, so that's certainly not going to be an issue. If we go green flag to checker from here on in, no need to pit. These guys are all done. Their beds are made. Going to see if Brian Rose has anything for the two of Neil Quick. We'll see how this restart goes. This first 5 or 6 laps, he said it himself. A little hairy. It's a bit of a dog. Keep in mind the damage to the left front of Brian Rose's machine. Field hits the Geico restart zone. We're back underway. Neil gets a great jump. 4 or 5 truck lengths back to the 89. Neil Quick, he leads that restart. Up to the second spot, we see Thomas McMullen. Will George is third. Drew Blaze fourth. Brian Rose has been the one to slip this time. He's back to the 5th position. Mark Truxell up to P6. 7th, Keaton Burnett, Chris Goins, Alan DeFries, Jamie Kerr, the balance of the top 10. And, of course, that is your lead lap per trucks as well. Thomas McMullen on the charge, though, not giving an inch, driving that truck for all it's worth, taking advantage of those early laps. At least the way Neil Quick described it, it's a bit of a dog. Thomas McMullen goes to the bottom, takes over the top spot. Will George, he's also thinking about taking a position away from the 2. Nothing doing just there. 2 to 3 car lengths back to the 96, while Thomas McMullen maintains the top spot. 3 car lengths back to Neil Quick. Kevin Feemster, fantastic broadcast, Steve, and great racing. Kevin, thanks for the kind words, man. Wish you were here, brother. I thought you ran this stuff. 26 laps to go from Dover. McMullen out in front. Neil Quick putting the pressure back on. 2 truck lengths now the advantage for Thomas McMullen. Neil Quick starting to get some heat, starting to get some tire temperature, some pressure buildup in those Goodyear Racing Eagles. Starting to get a handle on it. He's not losing ground anymore. Thomas still with the lead, but it's about 2 truck lengths back to the 2. Another truck length and a half maybe to Will George. Drew Blaze in the picture. And then 5th, Mark Truxell now. He's cracked the top 5 for the first time today. Thomas got in real deep there, and Neil just couldn't hang. Had to check up, lost a little bit of ground, but he's closing it back down into turn 3. Two, maybe 3 trucks the advantage for Thomas McMullen as we work 22 laps to go. Neil Quick trying to close it back down, gets to within a truck, but man, does Thomas drive off of turn number 2. We saw this earlier on before the end of the stage with him and Drew Blaze. He was backing up his corner entry and really able to power out of those corners. With only 22 laps to go, he can pretty much throw all caution to the wind. Not so much worry about saving tires at this point. It's a bit of a sprint here to the checkered flag. We'll have to see if he can hold off the charge from Neil Quick. Will George, Drew Blaze, even Mark Truxell again up in the mix here into the top 5 with Brian Rose back in 6th. Keith Burnett, Chris Goins, DeFries, and Kerr, the top 10. Top 3 under a blanket. They cross the line. 19 laps to go. Neil Quick trying to make a decision. Do we go now and try to defend, or do we wait until that last minute, last couple laps maybe, and then go for that top spot? I think now that he's got temperature and tire pressure into those Goodyear Racing Eagles, might be a good time to try it before things start to wear out. You just can't push as hard as you want to. He is right there, less than a truck length between the 2. He goes to the bottom, still nothing doing for Neil Quick. Little wiggle from Thomas McMullen across the stripe. Neil Quick to the bottom. Can he do anything with Thomas McMullen? Thomas up to the top. Crosses back down low. Cuts off the advance of the 2. 17 laps to go. Thomas McMullen still out in front. But for how long? Meanwhile, Neil Quick, he's got a challenge coming from Will George. Will definitely took advantage. Tried to take that second spot, but Neil Quick going back for the point once again with 16 laps to go. Thomas in the throttle trying to fight back. Looks like Neil Quick's going to clear him across the stripe into turn 1. New leader, it's the 2 of Neil Quick. The 0-2 of Thomas McMullen slips back to second. Cuts down right behind Neil Quick to sacrifice that lead, but keeps the second spot. Will George pressuring now Thomas McMullen for that second position. 15 laps to go from Dover. Neil Quick starting to drive away. The battle now for the second position between Thomas McMullen and Will George. Will, a newcomer to the SCAR Premier Series, but certainly made a name for himself early. I think he had a top 3 our last time out. Previous to North Wilkesboro, that's a whole nother conversation. But continuing to run up near the front here is Will George. TJ Elaine, not sure what happened with him as he is currently marked as the 19th place truck. The teammate Will George out in front here in the 3rd position in that lead pack. He was trying to track down the 0-2 of McMullen. Thought he had a run there for a little bit, but he caught a piece of the outside wall off turn 4. Slowed him a bit. Now that deficit, 0.3 of a second back to the 96. Little wiggle out of the 0-2 of McMullen off of turn number 2. Neil Quick 1.2 seconds out in front. Meanwhile, Mark Truxell battling with Drew Blaze. That's going to be for the 4th spot with 10 laps to go. Truxell the 5 down to the bottom. Drew Blaze trying to dime in the corner again. Crosses up, drives to the bottom, gets back to the inside of Mark Truxell. We saw him use this move a couple of times earlier on in the race. Now Truxell goes way up out of the groove. Maybe a little momentum to be had there. Not sure if it's run in just yet, but with 9 laps to go, that battle continues. Truxell clears Blaze into turn 3. So current top 5, Neil Quick, Thomas McMullen, Will George, Mark Truxell, Drew Blaze. Then the rest of your top 10, it is Brian Rose, Keaton Burnett, Chris Goins, Alan DeFries, and Jamie Kerr. Mark Truxell starting to drive away from Drew Blaze. Through all that, I don't know if Drew has just burnt the tires off that number 1 Tundra, but Brian Rose now starting to close down. Possibly a top 5 in the bank, maybe, for Brian Rose if he can get by Drew Blaze. Very well could be the case, but he's running out of laps, 6.5 to go before we call this one a race. Last lap for Brian Rose, a 24.79 to Drew Blaze's 25 flat. Blaze does pick up the pace a tick this time, a 0.5 tenth faster than Rose. Four laps to go. Neil Quick still leading. Thomas McMullen second. Will George third. The battle between Drew Blaze and Brian Rose starting to cool off just a bit. Blaze has the 5th position. Brian Rose, of course, 6th. Keaton Burnett, Chris Goins further back in the distance, 7th and 8th. Then DeFries and Kerr, 9th and 10th. 3 laps to go here from Dover. Neil Quick with a big advantage over Thomas McMullen, 2.71 seconds. And so far, so good. Again, I'm going to say it, that dirty C word, cautions. We haven't had any this afternoon with the exception of the stage, at least none for cause, that is. Neil Quick crosses the stripe with 2 laps to go. He's going to hope we get to that white flag here before anything happens out on track. Guys are going to try and get all that they can. Just cross your fingers that we don't see a yellow flag come out. It'd certainly get interesting if you're a Neil Quick fan. You don't want to see it, though. Neil into turns 3 and 4. Looking for a white flag. White flag waves here from Dover. Neil Quick started pole position. Had some struggles initially on the opening laps, but battled back to the lead. Short battle with Brian Rose mid-race. Caution comes out for the stage, and here he is into turns 3 and 4, in command by a wide margin over Thomas McMullen. Sees the checkered flag, and he's going to win the Dover Dogfight 125 from Dover, Delaware. Thomas McMullen's going to finish P2. Will George is third. Mark Truxell brings it home fourth. Drew Blaze atop 5. Neil Quick's second win of the season here at Dover. Again, he got that win at Fontana. Getting it done at all venues. He had the big D-shaped intermediate track. I don't know if you can really call Dover an intermediate, just based on its character, the concrete, the high banks. It's only a mile. It's like a short track on methamphetamine. Neil Quick slowly pulls down to the front stretch. We're going to take a quick break, guys. We'll be back with our top 3 finishers after this. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Dover, Delaware. We are complete. Race is over here. Neil Quick wins the Dover Dogfight 125. Thomas McMullen second. Will George brings it home with another top 3. We're going to see if we can get a word with all 3 of these guys. First and foremost, let's go to Neil Quick. Pull him up into the broadcast booth. Neil, it's Steve in the booth. You got a good copy?
Yeah, Steve, I got you.
Well, we talked to you at the end of the stage post pit stop. Quickly, as you said, those things are a dog on the restart, and you got past pretty much right away with Brian Rose, but you got it back pretty quickly, held off the charges from Thomas McMullen. Tell us about the rest of your race and how you did it this afternoon here at Dover.
Yeah, Steve, I don't know what it is. I just couldn't. It seemed like the first 4 or 5 laps, I just couldn't stay with some of the guys who had speed. I know Thomas had speed, Will George, Brian, they were all really quick when we started the session. And for the stage, about 6 to 10 laps, I could see I was starting to level out time-wise. But the main thing here for me is just trying to conserve tires and getting the car to drive off the back tires instead of being on the right front. I've really been practicing hard on that in this and the Xfinity car lately. And fortunately, tonight it just seemed like there was a lot of right front. Truck wasn't exceptionally fast, but over long haul, pretty quick.
Well, in talks this week with some of the HBR drivers, they were all pointing at Neil Quick as being the favorite and the one that you're going to have to beat to win this afternoon. Certainly was a true story. You brought home a checkered flag. Talk about saving tires. Starting off the first parts of the run, as you mentioned, it was kind of a dog because the tires are not up to temp. It just doesn't quite have the speed and the handle that you're looking for. Do you try and save tires throughout at least that first long run that we had, caution-free? And then that second stage, do you just kind of go as hard as you can there to get to the checkered flag?
Yeah, on the first stage being 90 laps, was just I had a good qualifying lap and basically just get out there and run. And I seen them guys had a lot of speed, so just let them get around me and kind of found a pace that was pretty good for me. And just kind of looking over at telemetry and where you're at, and just seeing that you pick up a 10 to do a lap, nothing major, and they're coming back to you. And that's basically all it was for me, was that part of it. The second stage, you just gotta get elbows up. As you notice, there was no burnout at the end there, so it was just getting up there and going after it, wearing yourself out to stay with it.
Okay, so why was there no burnout after? That's like my favorite part of the race.
Well, traditionally, especially here, burnouts, I end up usually hitting the outside, the inside, and it's a smoking pile of heat. So burnouts are not my specialty.
Fair enough. Well, Neil, it's your second win of the season. Congratulations. We're going to let you go here, but before we do, is there anybody you need to thank?
Yeah, absolutely. You guys in the booth for broadcasting all of our races, do exceptional. WR1, Track Bar Media. I do want to give a shout out this week. I know Spartan Logistics, Brian Reek, real good guy for us. He had his father pass. Kind of want to dedicate this win to him this week, and know he's in a tough spot this week.
We definitely know Brian for sure, and we send our thoughts certainly from HBR TV. That's definitely not fun. Obviously, we had Father's Day a couple days ago. That's a tough hit to take, man.
It is. So we're all wishing and thinking about him. So.
All right, Neil. Well, thanks for chatting with us, man. Congratulations. Good luck next week.
Thanks, guys.
It's your winner, Neil Quick, driver of the number 2 with Quick Esports and WR1 Sim Chassis. Next, we're going to go to second place finisher Thomas McMullen. Let's see if we can get a word with Thomas. Thomas, it's Steve in the HBR TV broadcast booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Thomas McMullen, a second place finish. He started 9th, not really having the most pace in qualifying, but as the run progressed, and even Neil talked about how you get some laps out of these things, they tend to pick up the pace just a bit. Was it kind of the same feeling for you in that truck as the run went on? The truck got better?
I don't know about that. I mean, I was more focused on preserving the tires until the end of the run, and just making sure that whenever it came down to the end of the stage or whatever, that I still had something to play with.
So obviously that first stage was a full 90-lap run. We didn't have a single caution for cause, which that in itself is incredible. You guys did an amazing job there. But that final stage is about a third of the length. At what point do the tires really start to fall off to the point where you can't really push the truck anymore? Did it even happen in that final stage?
Yeah, it did, and that's why the 2 car got back around me. It takes about 15 laps. You can run these things pretty much wide open around this place. Not like wide open, but you can run them really hard for about 15 laps or so, and then you'll really start to feel them fall off.
Well, Thomas, it's a second place finish. I'm sure it's not the one that you wanted, but still a top 3 nonetheless. It's a good point stay for you. Again, everybody hates that. But thanks for talking to us. We're going to let you go, but before we do, anyone you need to thank?
Yeah, I just want to thank all the boys at Holler Boys Racing for helping me out, and they're the ones who taught me everything I needed to know tonight to pull this off, and all the boys over at Splash and Go Graphics for this good-looking truck that they gave me. Saints of Speed, Mossback Fishing. I'm trying to think. HBR TV, VCA, all those wonderful people for being on board with me.
And the Atlanta Braves. Don't forget the Braves.
That's right. Go Braves.
All right, Thomas. Nice run, man. Thanks for chatting with us. Good luck next week.
Thanks, man.
It's Thomas McMullen, driver of the 02, second place finisher. Next, we're going to talk to our third place finisher, Will George. Will, it's Steve in the broadcast booth. You got a copy?
Got a good copy.
Once again, we meet in the booth. Congratulations, another top 3 finish. You looked real strong out there. You had some laps led between yourself and teammate TJ Elaine. Brought it home third place. I know tires have been the talk of the first 2 guys we spoke with, Neil Quick, Thomas McMullen. How was it for you as far as tire conservation? Did you have enough at the end, or did you really just burn them off like those other 2 did?
Well, I pretty much burned it off. I mean, I saw fourth place start to catch up to me. I was like, well, this is it. Hopefully I can make it.
Certainly got to keep your eyes out for the 5 of Mark Truxell. I've said it before about other drivers maybe. Mark's kind of like the silent assassin out there. Most of the races he doesn't necessarily even qualify for. He just starts out back and slowly and quietly works his way through. But this time he qualified, so that makes it even more dangerous. And then you got him on your back bumper pretty much there with a few laps to go. But you held him off. A top 3 finish for yourself, so congratulations there. Tell us about that first 90-lap run, the first stage of the race. We went caution-free. Again, everybody's talking about saving tires. Of course, we did have green flag stops about halfway. How was it getting on and off of pit road, and was the tire fall off really that significant?
Oh, definitely. Well, coming on the pit was a little tricky because I had to enter on the back. Because if you got any further up, you would wreck the truck. But as soon as I got that figured out, it was fine. But the first 90 lap, geez, those tires just eating the right front up back. I mean, I was pushing, and I was like, man, I need a pit. Nope, gotta wait.
Let somebody else do it first, and then everybody follows.
Exactly.
Well, again, congratulations, man. A nice run. Truck looks pretty clean. That's a bonus, and good luck going into next week.
Thank you.
Before we let you get out of here, anybody you need to thank?
Yes, definitely. TJ and George, we got a little special buy 2 for 25, get 1 paint free. Come visit us there at TJ George Esports. I want to thank Land Motorsports, Onaway Speedway, TBM, LeVar, and I want to say get well Pete, and I know he's on the car, and that's about it.
All right, well, again, thanks for chatting with us, man. Good luck going into next week. Good run tonight.
Definitely appreciate you.
It was Will George, driver of the number 96, your third place finisher here at Dover. Fourth place was the 4 of Mark Truxell, a great run out of the 5. Sorry, fourth place was the 5 of Mark Truxell. Great run by Mark. Started 11th. One of our biggest movers on the night, really, between him and Thomas McMullen. Passed the same number of cars, at least advanced the same number of positions. Unfortunately for Mark, we got to give it to Thomas because, well, he finished second. Mark was 4th. Drew Blaze, a solid top 5 for the 1. Brian Rose finished in the 6th position. Keith Burnett brings home the 26 machine in the 7th spot. Chris Goins was 8th. Jamie Kerr, the number 75, finished in the 9th position. Alan DeFries was 10th. Again, Alan started tail end of the field, so not a bad run by any means for the 71. He had to fight through a lot of traffic to get back up there. Finished lead lap, so a nice run by Alan DeFries. 11th was Cook Quick in the 23. Mike Fahey was 12th. Pete Woodrum with 304 Motorsports. Newcomer Descar, he finished 13th. Shane Wagner in the 17. He finished in the 14th position. Vincent Short was 15th after a pit speeding penalty, I believe it was. Jesse Bobo finished in the 16th position. Tom Ridgway, 17th position. Cody Harger, tough break for Cody. Didn't catch really exactly what happened with Cody Harger, but he was on the pit lane with some damage, and I don't think he ever really got back out. Cody finished 18th, 29 laps down. TJ Elaine, 82 laps down in 19th. Remember, TJ started out on the front row, I believe, led quite a few laps for a while until the tires started to fall off, and then something happened. I didn't catch what it was. Obviously, it wasn't bad enough to warrant a caution, but tough break for the 69. Aaron Conover, also 111 laps down to the 125. Early problems for the 20. We saw him hit the pit road with damage on all four corners on that machine. Called it a night early. Tough break for Aaron Conover. But that is your race results here from Dover, Delaware. The Dover Dogfight 125 is in the books. Thank you guys for watching. Certainly do appreciate that. We didn't have a ton of you guys chatting in the stream chat. We've got a little bit of you popping in here now that the race is over. Certainly do appreciate that every race. If you get the opportunity to say hello, please do. It makes it easier on us, especially when it's just me up here in the booth. Unfortunately, we missed Eric Dotson. Eric unable to get connected tonight. There's some storms that rolled through his area. Took out power, took out internet. It's just been a rough go for Eric Dotson, unfortunately. But we'll have him here next week, so make sure you guys tune in for that. Again, if you haven't already followed us or liked us or subscribed or turned notifications on, all those sorts of things, please do it. Facebook and YouTube at HBR TV1. That's the letters HBR and then TV and the number 1. Please do that. It's a lot easier. We made it simpler for everybody. Instead of spelling out the whole friggin' word, we simplify. We abbreviate. We have little, letters and numbers. Make it nice and simple for everybody. So if you haven't already done it, like, follow, share, subscribe, turn on the notifications, Facebook and YouTube, HBR TV1. That way you don't miss a moment of the action. And next week, you don't want to miss any of it because we go to Bristol. And it's not just Bristol. It's going to be Bristol on dirt, which is going to be a whole handful of new issues. Neil Quick, I'm sure he's going to be good, but he's not a dirt guy. You may see some of these other guys like Shane Wagner or Pete Woodrum. They do pretty well on dirt. They're the OG guys. They run dirt regularly. Aaron Conover, he is very good on dirt. Again, a 20th place finish here. He'd probably love to see some of that luck turn around next week at Bristol. It's going to be a myriad of different drivers towards the front of the field. Some familiar faces, maybe some not. But it's certainly going to be fun to watch. So make sure you turn in next week, Tuesday, 8:45 in the East. We'll probably go live about 8:40, let's be honest. And we'll hit the track here at about 8:50 or so. Catch the end of practice, then qualifying, and then jump into the race. So once again, thank you guys all for watching. Thanks for tuning in, Facebook and YouTube. I'm not going to say it again. We appreciate you. We certainly do. It's not worth doing if you guys aren't tuning in every week, and you do it in droves all the time. So it's much appreciated. Thank you guys all for watching. Hope you enjoyed the race. Congratulations to Neil Quick. I'm Steve Singer with HBR TV saying see you next week.